Noble monster hunter, thank goodness you're here. We've had to sacrifice a villager to this werewolf each month to keep it at bay. That is quite possibly the worst course of action your village could take. Sir Lang continued, I came here with the impression I'd have to handle a single werewolf. Easy enough at that point. Give them options for less disruptive hunting grounds and have a silvered sword if it gets ugly, but now I have to face at least a pair. The peasant protested. What do you mean a pair? Surely, each of those 8 outcasts were satisfactory morsels? The long-traveled knight hung his head low and said, Not morsels, not snacks. You have given this werewolf 8 pack members. This peasant turned away, frozen by a sudden dread. But it was meant to eat them, so that it would keep its eyes away from the village. Lang turned the boy back to him and fully explained the predicament. That werewolf did not kill a single one of your sacrifices. The werewolf most likely convinced each of them, in their despair, from being betrayed by humanity, to be turned. I'll still confront them. But if this pack cannot be convinced to move, I can only order an evacuation of the town. A few nights later, the full moon was rising over the trees. Sir Lang looked over and saw this month's sacrifice. A young woman, thin and frail as the queen's glass forks. Clearly another whom the village didn't care for. Lang went back to his armor, gleaming steel adorned in silver crosses. His long sword was similarly adorned. Sir Lang finished his preparations and declared to the gathering of villagers, I will escort this month's sacrifice to the den of these werewolves. Lang made sure it was abundantly clear that he meant plural. Be ready to evacuate if you see any come. An older man, seemingly the father of the boy Lang spoke with upon arrival, called out, There's only one werewolf, and it will be satiated again with my plan. Sir Lang finally snapped, Your flash of genius gave us a pack of 9 to deal with. I'm sure when I go off to kill my next vampire, you would wisely advise I hand him the stake to drive through my heart. You have clearly spoken enough on this issue. The old man fell silent, but still glared at Sir Lang, who took the hand of this sacrificial woman and led her into the forest. The moment they were out of sight of the village, Sir Lang found a branch of white berries and held it high above his head as they continued. So, what got you sacrificed? Sir Lang asked. I asked my parents to let me leave. I said I wanted to be free of this village. They hadn't cared for me. No one did. But they took that as me wanting to be fed to a werewolf, the woman said as they trudged through the thickening bushes. Well, the good news is that you do have options. Sir Lang continued. You no doubt heard me explain, in less than elegant terms, that this werewolf is likely turning each sacrifice. So you could very well join the pack. I'm not to judge. Alternatively, I could name you a squire. It's decent pay, and you don't need any family titles when you have sponsorship. My father was a sponsored squire after he helped save the first session of Parliament from an insurrection. I could also drop you off at any number of towns with my gold purse to do as you wish. The moon reflected in the woman's eyes as she replied, Thank you. I'm still in disbelief that werewolves are so... She looked outwards into the forest, meeting the gaze of 2 yellow eyes in the brush, which moved forward and revealed their owner. A large werewolf with fur like the ash of a campfire. The werewolf spoke in a clearly rehearsed, viscous growl. Ah, another tasty sacrifice, on a silver platter too. The woman gasped, but Sir Lang stood still. The jig is up. I know your pack of outcasts is nearby. I only want to talk, and perhaps you can make your number 10 tonight. The werewolf made a brief howl, and 7 more pairs of piercing yellow eyes emerged from the forest. He replied in a softer tone, 8. 2 didn't make it in the cold before we could find them, and I don't want to raid the village. Sir Lang replied, I know that, but it's still advisable if you and your pack came with me. The current parliament is very generous to many manner of cryptids. If you cooperate, you are guaranteed a generous domain of protected wilderness. Tempting, the werewolf admitted, but I like this area. The village kicks out all the people with the best traits to be in a werewolf pack. It's a good place to grow this family. How about one more, and you move south? The woman spoke up. I'll let you turn me. The southern valley was overgrazed after the last of the regular wolves were hunted down. The village kinda needs you now. Careful. That's a hard demand I'd have to make of the local lord. And he is known to but heads with the new parliament. Sir Lang warned. But I suppose the parliament can reassign the county to a different family. I'll agree to this. Welcome. The werewolf sits down. I hope we can be a better family than those humans in the village.